the stoppage, aka Jad the CHAD and his progress. Oops, sorry mate. And no Timmy for the intro today because Timmy's at home. It's Kaey-Lib for the intro. Walking into the gym. Let's get it. Big day ahead today. Glorious day. Beautiful day to serve God. I'm gonna I'll hold this up here. Alrighty. Welcome. If you guys didn't see, I just posted some progress for my guy Jad the CHAD. Made some phenomenal progress over the last few months, us working together, so I want to chat about it. One of the main things that we're talking about there is when you focus on the intentions, the joy of the outcome, bring that feeling to now, you basically, the what and the how, the when to do things, they all inform themselves. And it's a mission that a lot of people never come to that conclusion. Yes, I'm walking backwards, moonwalking up the hill, baby. But it is, I almost fell over. Okay, that's silly me. And it is, it's a thing in life, you could argue one of the secrets to life is it is that simple, but it is something that a lot of people can tend to struggle with, depending on how you were raised in that. But the cool thing is the process for getting there, very simple, very straightforward. And yeah, I think the way that I phrase it, we got some dogs barking. It's like when you lead with that faith in your decisions, you'll naturally rise to that and it will happen. Like, those things simply happen, and it's a phenomenal thing to be able to experience. For example, it's like with a martial arts gym, if you were to join up, well, when you join up, when you want to start, you never go, you don't go, I hope I get good, I hope I improve and learn this martial art, like I don't know if I will. You don't do that. You're like, of course. Like, you sign up, you become a member, and you're like, it's just a given. I rock up, I do this, I trust the process, and I will get better. And you don't know how it's going to look exactly, but you just know it's going to happen. And so basically what you do is you go as far as you can see and you see from there. So you don't have to do it all at once. You don't make all of the year's worth of progress on the first session. You just do the first session, and then from there you do the next session, and then the next session, and the next session, and then next thing you know, it's been years and years and you've improved. But that's the way that these things work. You lead, a way that I've heard it put is you put the cart before the horse. Normally people say you put the horse before the cart, but you put the cart before the horse. You invest in it, like you put yourself in it, you commit. You go, I'm doing this thing. And that's acting in faith and being like, yep, I'm making this thing. It's going to happen. And then, what do you know? It happens. Like, you'll figure it out. You will figure it out when you get in there. And my guy, Jad the CHAD, we're coming back to him. He's done that. Exemplified that to a T every step of the way. And there have been challenges. That's part of what we've worked through together. Obviously, he's improved immensely in a martial arts aspect, but also in a business aspect and physically. You can see he got jacked, bro. He's literally the shape of his body has changed, and as has the shape of his mind and his spirit. But it came from, like, well, you can see, like, he's built like he's pretty jacked beforehand. Like, he was okay, but bro, he's built like very straight, you know? It's like jacked, but he's like that. He was that classic kind of like long, tall boy. You stand up like that, and it's like everything's very straight. Like, he's got good shape, but even his arms, they look like they could touch the floor. They look that long. I like jazz. Thanks for the reminder, man. You're welcome, bro. You like jazz? He had that. And then we just were like, all right, cool. What are we going to solve for? What is the solution that we are seeking here? For example, like, this is putting stuff into practice. And it was like, okay, one of the things we want to grow is the arms. We developed the program accordingly, and now his arms, in some of the photos, his arms look tiny, like they look short because they're that big now. And they are continuing to grow. So it's just a reflection, like the physical side of things is a fantastic reflection of your growth. And like we also talk about, from the business side of things, your mental, no, what do you call it? Your thing. Oh yeah, your wealth is a reflection of your personal development as well. And for him, it's like going all in, putting the cart before the horse, if I'm saying that expression right, even though I've said it a few times already now. Being willing to put your money and your life where your mouth is. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do the same things that I've done and Jad's done and guys like that, but you have to be willing to. If God calls, you answer. It's up to you, and that's how you build a life that you love. So there have been instances with him and myself and other people. You see, it's the willingness to empty the savings, I think, is one of the best examples to be like, because when you do that, you're like, I have faith that one, I can make that money again, but two, I'm investing in myself to multiply that money, to have that come back manyfold. And you do that from a place of joy and abundance. You follow through. It's gonna be challenging, just like with martial arts. It's like energy. You don't be like, oh, I'm gonna save my energy, for another day. It's something my wife and I were talking about last night. It's not like you go, I'm gonna save my energy and just conserve it. It's like when you do things from that place of scarcity, of course, if you're gassed, you're gassed, but then you can always push and you'll learn more and grow more in those moments of your perceived limitations than you will in oftentimes than when you're freshest and best, so it's good. There's opportunity in everything. And when it comes to, like I said, the martial arts side of things, you will grow. There is no doubt that you will grow. I'm going to bring this back a little bit. Hold it this way. You'll do that and you will constantly just become more. In those moments of your perceived limitations, and you'll realize, okay, I can do more. And then that becomes your more. And then you do more. Hey mate, how you going? Yeah. So that's a pretty cool thing. It's like like I said, a fish will grow to the size of the tank that you put it in. So when you put something into a tank of that size, you put yourself, you realize you're the fish in that example. You put yourself in the tank and you'll force yourself to grow. You will expand inherently into these circumstances, just like with sparring, martial arts and that. You put yourself in the room with great guys, you will rise to that and then continue to rise, and you'll bring others up with you. And a bug just flew into my eye, but that's okay. We're all gravy, baby. I hope the bug's okay. Hopefully it just bounced off my eye. Either that or it's in my brain now, and I am a bug. What pushes you to grow? I like jazz. Mr. I like jazz, or Mrs. I like jazz. What pushes me to grow is, it's just who I am. That's the biggest thing. It's who I am. It's in my nature. I've chosen for it to be in my nature to continue to grow. And what pushes me to grow is the fact that part of who I am is a man of God. So I love what I do. So I want to keep pushing all the time. I want to keep developing in every way, shape or form. There are a lot of things. Essentially, I'm the big fish. I put myself in the tank, and I put myself in bigger and bigger tanks because I know that that's a big part of the game, and I first and foremost seek to serve God. That's at the heart of everything that I do, and I know that to serve God to my fullest potential, I need to continue to put myself in bigger and bigger tanks, push myself, or it's kind of like pulling, if that makes sense. So instead of it being a hard, difficult push, it's like I just make it who I am. So I put myself in the circumstance, I put the cart before the horse, exactly what we're talking about today, and you don't even have to think about it. On a subconscious level, you just start growing. Like, you will just expand, and you're capable of way more than you think. So I keep in mind that everything I do is in service to God. And then okay, how do I best serve God? I let God inform me, and then he'll often be like, put yourself in this situation. I'm like, all right, I got you, bro. Sometimes I'm like, I don't think I can do that, man. Like, that is a hard perceived limit in my mind. But if you call me for it, I shall do it. I mean, we've done that with our lives, with every martial arts. I do that with martial arts. I do that with business. Everything. God calls and you answer. That's it. The choice is yours. So I do a lot of stuff to make it who I am. I have made that who I am. That is my identity. I just know that. So I don't even have to think about it day to day. All of this stuff comes naturally, easily to me. It just flows. It's just who I am. And it's all born from a place of love, passion, and abundance. So that just feeds on itself as well. So it's like I want to do more and more and more, to push myself more. All right, I can't read the comments right now. One sec, just because my phone's getting a bit warm, so the screen kind of went thing. No, that's all right. Someone said, what pushes you to grow? Thanks for the reminder, man. Okay, wait. Let me get the... Who you got? Okay. Who you got, Pantoja or Kai? I don't know. I haven't really analyzed it too much. My heart says Kai Kara-France. So I'm keen. That's who I got. How about you guys? God bless you, brother. God bless you too. My guy, Nicholas, I'm assuming it's Nicholas or Nicholas I know we've messaged, but funnily enough, I don't know how to pronounce your name. That's always a funny, man. Yo, man, great watching your sparring footage. I'm about your size and always find it difficult to find people to emulate. Oh, that's cool, man. I appreciate the kind words. I'm glad that you enjoy watching the sparring footage and can emulate some of that, like the impression or the implication, I believe, is that you emulate aspects of my sparring. And I'm honored. I'm privileged. And coming back to it, because we're talking about the martial arts aspect side of things, is what pushes me to grow is I love it. So I build a life based on putting myself in bigger tanks, and I relish that. I love that. I cherish the opportunity to do that. I see everything as an opportunity as well, and I constantly run across roads. No, I love everything that I do and everything about what I do. So I build my life entirely on passion and allow it to flow accordingly. And like, part of what makes me grow naturally, part of the bigger tank, is I provide. Like, one of my big things is I love providing for others, for my family, for my community. I love being able to do that. And well, that obviously the core of that is serving God. So it's like, how does God call me to serve and to provide on this day, every moment of my life? And I love doing that. So it's like, it just naturally makes you rise up to be like, I want to, well, I do. It's not even I want to, this is just what I do. I provide for them fully and abundantly so that they can have whatever they like in this life and enjoy it and ultimately come closer to God. And I do some exercises in that to push for that. It's like stuff that Jad and I go over, for example, because he's one of those guys who naturally, people look from the outside and be like, bro, pushing so hard. But some of it is like, it's just who I am. It's who we are. It's natural. It's easy to a degree. It's effortless. It feels like you're not doing that much, which is one of the other challenges to deal with. Is sometimes you're like, bro, when you build a life on your passion and you just make it who you are, you're like, how do you deal with allowing it to come to you easily, Yeah. I like jazz. Do you consider yourself a warrior? That is a very interesting question. I'll answer with my intuition. First thing that comes to mind is yes. I consider myself a warrior in a garden. I'm capable of doing that, hence the martial arts side of things, the physical development, the strength. It's not just the physical strength. Obviously, there's that aspect of it. Be strong to be useful. But there's also the aspect of the mental strength, the fortitude, ultimately, above all, the infinite strength of God. I take it upon myself to allow that to abound in me, and I lead with that, and that's how I'm able to lead, help others to grow, pull others up with me, you know? So yeah, I consider myself a warrior. As they say, it's better to be a warrior in a gardener. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener at war. So yeah, that's part of what I do. It is definitely part of what I do. Oh, the gym's open, I think. More people are just there. Yeah, so I think that's important given my profession, and just that's who I am, you know? That's the identity. You know, and it's like, well, part of that, why I do that, just to expand on that, because it's something I've been talking about as of late, is the idea of, well, this fact that hard times create strong men create good times create soft men create hard times. We are in good times right now, so it's easy to get soft, and I've been there before. I've been complacent, I've gotten comfortable, too comfortable, and it's not like I don't enjoy the journey now. I very much enjoy, and I feel at rest. I feel rested, I feel energized by doing what I do now, but I don't rest on that, you know? I don't just stop at that. So I take it upon myself, part of what I'm called for, and my service to God is to continue to be a strong man in good times, because that's just who I am. And those are the people that innovate, lead societies, and bring them forward in spite of whatever circumstance there is. So that's something I take upon myself, and I trust God to fulfill that side of things. The strength to do that does not come from me alone. It is channeled through me, and it is an infinite strength, wisdom, abundance, joy, leadership, all of that comes from God. So yeah, that's how I consider myself. Yeah, better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener at war. And we're in a garden right now, so you've just got to make peace with that and be a warrior. I got things to do, God to serve, people to provide for, to allow that to channel through me. But yeah, so yeah, that's good. I like jazz. I find strength in myself from martial arts too. Nice, bro. I like that. That's the way, bro. That's the way. I've just gotten to the gym now, so I might start packing it in. I'll sit here with you guys for a sec. Got my little selfie stick out. Looking odd. Nah, I'm gonna bring it in close. All right. So yeah, ultimately this was primarily just a little chat, like sharing some game. Some of the stuff that I said about Jad the CHAD in that post. If you want to go have a squiz at it, it's like written there, the way that I've done that. But I really, even though I haven't chatted about it too much, I really admire the progress that he's made, and I'm privileged, I'm grateful to be a part of that journey, of his development overall. So of course we do a lot of personal development stuff together, and then there's the business side of things, the martial arts, the training, all of that stuff. It all goes hand in hand, because they're all, like I say, one and the same. It's all a thinking man's game. And yeah, it's our privilege, and I feel our duty to embody that, take that upon ourselves, and do good with that. Spread God's love ultimately through those means. And I'm trying to remember exactly what I said, but it was something along the lines of when you make your mind do the thing, the body follows. And yeah, just give me a sec to remember this. Yeah, just chilling. I like jazz, it says. Oh. Yeah, it's like when you subject yourself to the challenges, you naturally rise to them. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what I wrote, because even when I write those things, it's like you don't want to hold on too tightly to like, oh, I have to say it this way perfectly. I really just, as a little tip, like in my content, and this is why I love it so much and why it abounds, and I know it helps as many people as possible, is I allow God to flow through me. Like what God wants me to say, I allow that to flow through in every bit of the content in what I write, in how I make it, in the intentions behind every piece of content, it's like, for me, it's like, that's the art. I've been studying or just like enjoying learning about filmmakers and that, because I've always been really interested in filmmaking and art in that kind of degree, in my own way, like martial arts, obviously. But I've been very big on channeling that into my work. Like everything that I see, each piece of content and the overall personal brand, you could call it, is a work of art for me. And I'm very privileged to be able to do that, and to have that be part of how I make a living is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm privileged and blessed. And I'll bring it back around to be able to serve God by serving guys like Jad the CHAD is phenomenal. And he has done fantastic work. He studying medicine full time, training, doing his martial arts. He's obviously part of KFC as well. That comes with the territory of like working on the personal development side of things. So even though he's like not physically training martial arts, because there's no Muay Thai or anything up where he is there, it's up here. That's a lot of the secret sauce, the depth that we can go into there. And he watches some of the stuff. It's like he doesn't even have to watch every week, but he's developing, he's growing. We're developing these pathways. Like I've talked about before, the visualization side of things allows you to go through it. Your brain forms the pathways, and then as a result of that, you can do it. So he's going to be better when he comes back and spars and does all of that. So I'm very privileged to work with him and to help him on his journey. It is phenomenal. I get to learn from him too. I like jazz. I got time, bro. I got time. I've actually walked to the gym, and I realized timing wise now it's going to work out best to just I'll just gym here and then go straight to jiu-jitsu anyway. So this is great. I like jazz. If you have time, could you explain your relationship with God? Do you trust yourself as much as you trust him? Okay, 2 questions there. Phenomenal. I'll answer the first question first, the second question first. So do you trust yourself as much as you trust him? Ultimately, no, I don't trust myself as much as I trust him. But in a way, it's like I trust him, trust God to make me into the man that I need to be, that he calls me to be, so that I can, my man Pablo Jr. in the house. Yeah, I trust God to make me into the man that I need to be. So then it's like I trust him to make every fiber of me into a man that serves him, if that makes sense. So in that sense, I don't trust myself initially. I have a level of trust for myself, but it's like you don't trust the flesh, you trust the spirit. So I trust the spirit more and more every moment. It's like who I am, I allow it to, I guess, incept. You could say incept is like put the idea in there and to grow, to sow and to grow in me, all through me. Every aspect, every fiber of my being is more and more, it grows to be more like Jesus every day, you know. It's like more of you, less of me, you know? And in that, because he's made us all unique, you find the most genuine version of yourself, because God's made all of us unique for that specific purpose. We all have different talents, different passions, different skills, different attributes, different personalities. There's beauty in the differences that he makes us with, and it's like you get to find the fullest version of yourself within that. So yeah, that's the do I trust myself aspect of it. I'm almost accidentally removing from you. Pin that. Yeah, and so my relationship with God is how I would explain it. I would explain it as a beautiful relationship that I am blessed to be in, and I learn more and more from him every day. He provides so much for me and gives me so much that I'm honestly just so privileged to be able to be a vessel and to be a light for him. That's ultimately the relationship. He is my father. He is the essence of who I am comes from him. So my relationship with God is one of love, joy, abundance. It is one where He gives so much infinitely, endlessly, and I come to realize that more and more every day in every aspect, whether it is relationally, with my relationships with other people, with my wife, with my community, my clients, anyone I get to work with, my training partners and that kind of thing. Whether that is financially, in business, in wealth, whether that's in my health, I just realized that we ultimately have access at any time to His infinite grace, His love, His abundance. Everything that He's made in this world, everything that we can perceive, the very consciousness that we are given to be able to, the mind that we're given to be able to perceive all of these things, to have our thoughts, to have our free will, is just a gift, and it's a genuine joy to get to experience that and to have that. So our relationship is one of, I'll put it this way, I think this quote really summarizes it. He's always there, and I didn't always stick with Him, but He's always stuck by me. Whoa, man, that one I heard from a Denzel Washington speech. It always gets me choked up when I hear that bit a little bit, because it's true. It's like, man, every opportunity to just turn away from me and be like, nah, you did this, that, and the other. Every reason to just leave us, not give us His salvation. Because we choose, like He gives us the free will, and we choose over and over again to do that. But then every time you're like, He's still there, man. Unconditional love, the highest form of unconditional love. It's like you get a very high form of that. I'm privileged enough to have a very high form of that from my parents, and then God's like the epitome of that. That's where we get it from, you know? So that's how I describe the relationship. Man, I truly admire your selflessness. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate the kind words, man. I appreciate the kind words. It's all glory to God. Do you chase the limitless, though, even though there is no end? Do I chase it? Look, I'll put it this way. I don't chase anything. How do I phrase it? The way that I do things now, look, I've chased before. I've pushed. I've tried to do it from my own willpower, from my own source of strength, and it works. I can do it. I wasn't always Christian even. Like, I didn't always have the relationship with God that I have now. I believe we're all born with some form of relationship with God. Whether or not we allow the world to take us away from that is our choice. And as we grow more and more, we can always come back to Him. But I did used to chase the limitless, though, to chase that higher form of myself. But now I allow it, if that makes sense. I embrace it. I welcome it. So, yeah, even though there's no end, it's infinite. You know, the vastness of God. Even if you look up at it's like this way. I don't chase the sky. I don't chase the universe. I look at it. I admire the abundance. I'm in awe of it. I love that I get to experience it and even perceive a portion of it, a fraction of it, of God's limitlessness, His infinite wisdom, His abundance, all these things. I'm privileged to be able to experience part of it, but I don't chase it. I allow it to come to me, because you don't have to chase God. He's always there. You just got to let Him in. So that's how I do things now. Like I said, I have chased before, but a large part of what I do is just allow it. And now I was talking to one of my good mates about it the other day. Is like I don't really do much, and this is part of the self-development. It doesn't feel like I'm doing much. I literally just float around, abound in God's love, and I have the privilege to be able to spread that love and joy, that abundance, that our salvation in everything that I do. And I'm privileged enough to be able to love the life that I have and to do things all born from a place of passion. So it's like I'm not chasing anything. I literally just kind of end up places, show up, speak. Even now when I speak, it's just free. It just flows. I don't have to think really hard about what I do and where things are going to come from. I just know that they are coming, and I go from place to place and do what God tells me to do. And it's just natural, it's just normal, it's just who I am, you know? So if that makes sense. Yes, I have before, but not anymore. Sometimes my mind, like the flesh does that though, and then you just get to practice that more and more. So it's not like I never experienced that, but I let go of it more and more every moment that I'm presented that opportunity. So yeah, I feel that we all have a bit of divine in ourselves. Absolutely, man. We definitely all have a bit of divine in ourselves. We all have, some people call that the spark of God. I call it the Holy Spirit, the spirit part of us. We all have that, and it's crazy to think we have we have a portion of it. There's an abundance of it. There's so much more to it than that, but we have access to this thing that is limitless, and the very fabric of reality is created by this thing that we have access to a degree. We can tap into God's divinity, His infinity, His abundance, all of these things we get to tap into, that His Spirit. We have access to that anytime, and we don't even need to become something to access it. We just access it as we are. We can. We don't need to get to a point to come to God. We just come to God at any period of time, and it builds, and it goes more and more. And yeah, it's just a beautiful thing. A beautiful, beautiful thing that we get to experience. And yeah, to bring it back to Jad, the CHAD, my guy, that's something that I get to channel into my work. I love everything that I do, and this is kind of in keeping with the drive side of things, that you're asking, like, what pushes me is, like, I love working with guys like Jad, and I know that in order to keep leading, to keep pulling these guys forward and helping them to grow, I have to keep growing myself. I have to keep walking the path and being a light that shines brighter and brighter from God, to illuminate the path for others, for them to find their path to God, for them to choose to find their path to God. So that's a lot of what pushes me. That is all, I'd say, that drives me. That is my life force, and it abounds on itself. I have limitless energy every day, and it's a beautiful thing. I'm very privileged, blessed to be able to experience it, and to be able to channel that into my works, have my faith be channeled into my works, and to be able to spread that to other people. And look, part of what drives me, the core that I've been writing about and like embodying as well, is that I'm kind of like the first through the door. I'm the first Kaey-Lib. I'm the first me, if that makes sense. So I'm the first one to do business exactly my way, with my personality, with the things that I enjoy, with God this way, all these specific things. I've been given such a unique opportunity here. I see every day, every moment as an opportunity to serve God more and more, to surrender yourself to that. I think that's one of the ultimate ways to put it. You don't have to chase it. You can surrender to it, and that's beautiful. And it's like you get to fly. You trust Him, you let go, and you're flying, you're floating everywhere. I'm literally like, I don't even remember walking over here. I remember I did it, but it was like not effort. It was just flowing, and it's beautiful, and I love it. But yeah, I know that I'm the first through the door, so part of what I do is I innovate. I allow myself to be a vessel to innovate and do business, do life my way, God's way, my way and God's way, one and the same, more and more every day, so that I can show others the path. There is a pathway for them to do it themselves, for like even martial arts, for them to do it their way, so they can see my example, my path, and choose that for themselves, choose their own path, and like emulate aspects of that, and ultimately understand the core and the principles of what I do, being that of my whole life being built on God and that relationship with Jesus Christ, and my salvation in Jesus Christ ultimately, and my baptism for that salvation, that free gift we've been given, basically, and everything being based on that allows it to flow and grow more. So that's a big part of what drives me, is like, I just am that person, and I'm privileged enough to be that guy for so many people. And the more I grow, the more others around me naturally grow as well, because I bring that everywhere. I get to be a vessel for God's light. I get to be a light for God everywhere that I go. OG, how are you? I'm very good, thanks. And yourself, bro? Sorry, I kind of like, I look away from the thing, and then I'm like not reading any questions. What drives you to fight? I don't fight. I do martial arts. I don't fight. I enjoy fighting, watching it, being a part of like helping people prep for it, but I myself don't fight. So nothing drives me to fight, if I'm being honest. What drives me from martial arts, we've been talking about, is my spirit. My spirit to serve God is ultimately what drives me to do martial arts. But I appreciate the question, bro. I hope that clarifies. It's recorded. Yeah, it's recorded. I'm gonna upload this as well, so it'll be up there. Wow, thanks for sharing your wisdom. All gravy, bro. All gravy. I appreciate the kind words, man. And honestly, I appreciate it, not taking away from the vessel that I am, but this infinite wisdom is channeled through me. I'm a vessel for it. It's God's wisdom, and I'm very privileged to be able to share it and be a vessel for that. So, but I appreciate the kind words, man. I appreciate it. Anyway, I'm gonna head into the gym now. Part of the stimulus for that is I need to pee. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make sure I stay outside to upload this, otherwise it might disappear, but that's not the reality I choose for myself. Yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this. We kind of just went wherever it went, talking about Jad the CHAD's progress at the start. Again, he's a great guy, phenomenal guy, good guy, great guy. And yeah, I love what I do, and I'm privileged to be able to share it with you guys. I appreciate all of you guys and the love and the energy you bring into my life as well. So I appreciate it. And my hair's sticking up here. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, appreciate you guys. I like jazz. I love the questions. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in today. Thanks for the talk. Remember, this is all a thinking man's game. Embody that and it'll be all gravy, baby. God bless. Bye.